See this? This is the Bright Lord armor. We're showing you today the legendary Celebrimbor Bright Lord armor. We're playing this in the E3 demo with our floating mic, as you can see.
We're very proud of it.
Very proud of it. And so stream has been promoted to Overlord. Hell yeah. So what we want to show you guys is basically how to get this armor, one of the ways you can use this armor, and then in regards to one of the ways you can use this armor, well, it's actually based off of loadouts and builds, so we're pretty excited about that. So let's go ahead and show them a little bit of the legendary ring that one could use in Celebrimbor's armor.
Absolutely.
So Celebrimbor's armor, you're able to obtain multiple ways. It's, in fact, each piece kind of comes a little bit differently. You have Shadow of the Past missions, and then you also have Ithilden. First, we're going to talk about Ithilden, but before we get to that, see this ring right here, and these abilities and this kind of thing. At the moment, we're getting back 7 focus recovery per kill. This particular set of stats that we have on this guy, this is still being balanced, and so it's possible by the end game that we will see something a little different than what are these stats here. However, it's the build that we're going to show you is still something that you guys will be able to either make or come up with something similar or something completely different, but within the same philosophy of this kind of stuff. So, we've got this ring. Let's go ahead and pop out of here.
Cool.
And we want to show you guys a little bit more of Nirnin while we're here. So go ahead and let's begin to walk, because where we want to go is down below. And I believe it will be straight and to the right.
Yep.
Perfect.
We're heading off to that outpost, right?
Right.
Excellent.
So we're heading out to an outpost, and we'll talk to you guys a little bit more about Ithilden on our way there. Enjoy the orcs as we're strolling by and checking out the prettiness. It's beautiful. Yes.
Right. I thought I was going to get away with a free shoulder check. You thought otherwise.
No worries. Go ahead. Actually, look at the ocean on the right. It's actually one of my favorite parts about this stroll is that we're on the water.
This region actually is just really cool. Like, there's a lot to explore. I'm really happy that we're getting to show off a little bit more of it today, because even spending all that time in the fortress and everything, like, there's still so much in this region. Even at, like, past the forest to Karnan and everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's really, really cool.
Oh,
hey,
you have a friend.
All right, they.
Jevanash, doing all right. Thank you for asking. It's man, we've had some amazing craziness in trying to get the audio going. Thank you guys for your patience on that again. Remember, you have to hit X when you're doing that.
That's right, my mistake.
So, actually,
old habits die hard.
I know, old habits. So one of the new abilities is that when you're firing at a fire pit, you can either shoot it and have it explode, or you can travel to it like a shadow strike and have it explode. So it can kind of use that sort of thing. Hello, Eric Games Daily. Nice to see you. Now that we've kind of strolled a little farther, I'll start telling you guys a little bit more about Ithilden. If you guys remember in the Lord of the Rings film, where if you just say friend and the way will be open to you, any word that is shown by moonlight is Ithilden. We have Ithilden fragments, which is actually a bit redundant according to the lore, but we have Ithilden that exists in the world, and you can pick it up, and as you find it, it actually is pieces of a puzzle that you can use to solve certain Ithilden doors, which allow you to get the pieces of the armor. Not every piece, but a certain large group of them. When will you guys show us an armor with a hood? When we pick one up, actually. We have yet to just pick one up. Eventually we'll do some more legendary weapon stuff. This is actually the beginning of us sharing more of that. And as we do that, we'll have more hoods to show. So
I think we're getting up close to the outpost.
We are close to it. So the Ithilden will actually be down and to your right. So we're going to go first and collect that.
All right, let's head on down.
Cool. It'll be right underneath the Shadow of the Past mission.
Yep. So I'm going to make this quick because usually we get some attention when we're in this part. This is one of the outposts in the region controlled by the tribe that's running the fortress. So they're definitely going to be aware that we're here. But we got to the Ithilden first.
Yeah, it's in this direction.
Yep.
So there's a mini game that happens when you're going to be doing these Ithilden words. And so once you figure them out, which go ahead, Andy, do so.
I was like, it's actually embarrassing to not be doing great at this right now on chat.
Oh, don't worry about it. You collect it. And go ahead and mess with guys a little bit. Because, so that's one of the pieces that you do.
Yep, that's just one way that you kind of start to collect the legendary Celebrimbor gear set and everything.
Exactly. And then there are also other ways. Well, first you'll have the Nuor. The Nuor? Gosh.
It's a good thing we have this legendary gear.
Yeah, indeed.
This guy walked into a fight I don't think he wants to have.
So, I mean, seriously. So, one of the things that we now want to take this advantage, before we show you the Celebrimbor, we want to show you a little bit about what this gear can do. Because right now, this gear is level 1. Level 1 gear as opposed to, oh man.
That's not good.
And remember, legendary gear can move up all the way to level 4. So we're showing you level 1 right now because we'll also show you level 4 today in just a second. But first we want to show you what level 1 looks like before you move up to the level 4 gear. Specifically, we want to show it to you in a kind of a Shadow Strike format. So once Andy has full focus, he's going to be using Shadow Strike. Plus he'll be using Chain of Shadows. Full focus, good sir.
Oh, I'm there. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some Shadow Striking.
So we can do 1, 2.
And that's it.
We got 2? Okay, so we got 2 Shadow Strikes out of that one. The Chain of Shadows move means that you use some Elf Shot and then you use some Focus in order to kill a couple people. In that regard, we now have 3 Elf Shot as opposed to the total 5 that we had there. Andy's going to build up a full Might Meter, and then he's going to use the ability to Consume, and that will allow him to bring that back, because we have an ability that will bring back Elf Shot.
So we're just about there.
Manuelo 36, you can turn off prompts. You're ready to go. And then send the dude over.
Oh, I'm at 5 actually.
Oh, you're at 5 already?
Yeah,
oh, there we go.
Started Shadow Striking through him anyway.
So, no worries. So, then we start up again. Do you want to kill this guy real quick before we show?
Yeah, he's doing a really good job of getting in the way. And tripping me.
No worries. I'll take this opportunity to talk to chat's questions a little bit, too. People keep calling out No Beard. He actually has a goatee.
I've shaved it today, actually. I didn't think I trimmed it quite to this point, chat, so I'm now realizing the extent with which I've let you down. It's alright. If I'm in the same league as Ellie, I'm happy to be.
I like that. So, what we're trying to show you guys, we got 2 Shadow Strikes there, and then we got 1 Consume, which is basically the setup that allows us to show what level we are in our skill points and what abilities that we have, and basically how strong this level 1 set of gear is. And then we're going to show you guys what a level 60 basically, because gear can level up with you. So we're first showing you this, and then we'll show you the next one. JBJ Blaze, I'm trying contacts today. I'll do this if this makes you more comfortable. So, and I'll explain it a little bit more, but now we'll answer some more questions. Can you get better gears at endgame? You can always get better gear, actually. And when I say that, it's because, remember, we've talked about with loot, that if loot is something...
This is embarrassing for me.
If loot is something... I had the quiet, just the look. Loot is something that you get from killing someone, and when you kill someone in a certain way, you can... Basically, if you use fire, they're more likely to have a fire-based gear afterwards, so if it's a legendary piece, you can even have fire be an augment. In this case of this armor, though, it's specifically different. At this point, I might actually ask you to just start the mission.
I'm cool with that.
There's 2 people now.
There's Ronk of the Black Gate, too. Oh, wait, this guy's immune to execution, and he's enraged.
All right, so
it's not my fault, Ronk.
We're going to leave this guy alone right now because
yeah.
we have a time limit, and we've used some of our time with trying to figure stuff out.
It's true.
So before we go into this, I'm going to move this over to just us again, and I'm going to explain this build out. So Andy, make sure also that everything's set build-wise.
Right, yeah. So are we going for more
We'll do the Elf Shot build first.
Perfect.
Yeah. So this is a mission that you guys have seen before back in our live stream, basically last week when we had people playing. But now you're going to see someone who is actually understands how to use this build that we figured out and what it's doing. All right, so we've set it correctly to the right things. But just as a reminder to you guys, it's going to have Chain of Souls, which allows us multiple Shadow Strikes. We're going to have, or excuse me, that allows multiple Consumes. On our Drain ability, we're going to get Elf Shot back. And then on Shadow Strike, we have Chain of Souls.
Chain of
Shadows. Chain of Shadows.
Right.
And then it'll move around. All right. So Andy is going to demonstrate what this build looks like now.
Yep.
Using the Celebrimbor legendary gear at level 60. Go ahead.
So, also too, as a frame of reference, at our San Diego Comic-Con community party, I think we got like maybe mid to high 40s as like a typical kill count for this mission.
And so we got to 45 with MDP.
Got it. Okay.
So go ahead and show what you can do when you actually use your ability set that works off of this build.
Well, I'll take that kill over the Drake. There we go.
So, and this is an important note, which is that we have, like, the gear is able to support your abilities. And we're going to actually show how the legendary gear set does that really well.
So I'm back up on arrows again. And focus, there's some folks on the other side there.
Remember to just use up your arrows. You don't need to use focus.
Yeah, I'm just trying to shoot.
Let's see.
And here we go.
How many times can we level the armor? What is Talian's level gap? Also, is there a new gate? Daryl Wolfert, there's a lot of questions, but I'll get some of those I can answer. One that I can answer is the fact that you can have, there are 4 levels of armor, but armor is actually, you will level up based upon doing certain facets involved in it, and then it can increase its strength. And we'll show some of that too. So now, Andy is getting back to the arrows. Remember the idea that with Consume, you're able to get your elf shot back. And then he's beginning the shadow strikes over again. So this is a cycle. You start with shadow striking, and you use as much of the shadow strike as you can and use up all your arrows. If you have focus to use, you can then shadow strike around and do extra. If you don't have arrows to use, then you consume your target, and then you send out multiple Celebrimbors in order to get a lot of that back. And then you start it over again.
Actually, too, I've got my wrath meter all full. I should probably go ahead and take advantage of that really quick, too.
And now you're able to use it. Yeah, go ahead. So, and one of the things that's a facet of the Celebrimbor armor is that you actually gain 50% more wrath, and then have a 50% less amount of time you can use wrath. That's one of the set bonuses, which will, when we showed you the ring, you could see that there were 2 set bonuses, and this particular build takes advantage of both of them. Because whenever you complete Elven Wrath like that, not only do you kill a lot, but you will also, and this is interesting, get Elf Shot back.
Nice try, sneaky drakes. So I'm barely outpacing the drakes right now, but even still, at only like about 30 seconds into it, we're up to 30 kills.
We are up to 30 kills.
Alright, running out of elf shot. So we
NeoCal plays right now. We're on consoles, specifically Microsoft and Sony, and then we're also going to do PC. So not any plans for a Linux on release. So right now, I don't know what name that is because it's all in black, but it looks like the something Sarmi, which was asking, can drakes just spawn and attack you? Yes, this is a particular mission where there's just tons of drakes, and so that's just part of the fun.
I'm having trouble here, actually. I'm used to being able to usually get around a little bit quicker and find them, but these drakes are really competitive in trying to slaughter these orcs, as it turns out.
I mean, there's a bunch of them now down on the other side, but one of the tricks that we found using when we were doing this is you would never, typically, you would grab either more elf shot if you needed to, or you would shadow strike someone. You also have full wrath again.
Ah, you're right.
So go ahead and pull it out. Let's see, is there a legendary gear set that does not make us look like Celebrimbor? Red Shirt 117. There are tons of legendary gear sets.
Yeah,
one for each tribe, as well as a couple we haven't talked about yet. The beard was the source of your power.
There's definitely truth to that. See, the thing is, I had to just get a brand new beard on me so I could be doubly powerful.
I mean, you're basically Samson right now.
I can live with that.
Let's see. Gravewalker 7705. You asked if we could show you more of the Nemesis system. Well, actually, we were ambushed by 2 dudes, which is actually a really good example of how the Nemesis system just works when guys will just come out of nowhere and attack you.
True, that was actually... We've actually been in here and we were like expecting when we were kind of doing our early run-throughs, like, yeah, there's probably going to be some captains that attack us, and never. And now all of a sudden when we're on stream, there's 2.
There's a ton of them.
There was actually a couple. There was, like, I think, a couple that we encountered when we were doing our early tests.
Oh yeah, totally. So I want to take a note here. Andy has 35 seconds to go, and he's at 53 to 49 right now. Just as a reminder, it was 45 was DePlatter's final score. And I'm not saying this to make fun of him or anything, but the idea was that when you have a build that is more designed to take advantage of your armor's like capabilities, then you're able to create an extremely, we have, you can do it, you're going to be able to create something that is significantly more powerful. Can you, yes, actually, Daniel3785, you can dominate the drakes in this mission and make them fight for you, and they will count as your kills when you're doing it. We're just not doing it right now because we wanted to show off you have Elven Wrath again, by the way.
Ah, thank you.
Because we wanted to show off the abilities and how quickly you can get Elven Wrath with a fully leveled up thing. Because if you guys remember Andy playing when he was just as Talion before, he wasn't constantly getting Elven Wrath like this.
Yeah.
So, Gruffin77, do orcs comment on your armor? I don't know.
I don't actually know. That's a really good question.
I do know of orcs that comment on very specific things to Talion and Celebrimbor.
Yeah.
In fact, The Agonizer has some interesting lines related. If you guys have seen that came out today, he has some interesting lines specifically for the Bright Lord. Fury Winds was asking how do the quotes work with.
He just took the guy I was shadow striking.
That's funny. Pause for a second.
Oh, yep, thank you. Right.
Cool. So we hit to this point. We're stopping right here because we're playing the E3 demo right now, and if we beat it, which we were just about to, it won't. We're so close. If we beat it, which we were just about to, it actually takes it away. But we want to keep it a little bit because we want to show you guys some more stuff. Also, for those asking where you get this shirt, I don't know. It was given to me, and I loved it.
I'm actually trying to think. I don't actually remember where. I know I have one of those shirts, and I don't even remember where I got it.
Right.
Well.
So in this opportunity, go ahead and hit retry mission.
Yep.
And we're going to take this opportunity then to switch the build up a little bit. And I'm going to point out the change when we get to it.
Yep.
So first I'm going to bring it back here, though, to explain so you can look me in the eye. So in this build, we had 3 specific skills that were important. Shadow Strike, Consume, and then we used Drain. Now, specifically, we had extra augments. And we're going to show you these augments real quick so that you're aware. Because, boop, go ahead and show them the change from Elf Shot and the change to Lord of Wrath. Perfect. So you see, we're using Lord of Wrath, which is now your Consume will increase Wrath. And then go over and let's show them real quick that there's also the Bright Lord's Wrath, which is on Drain.
Going all the way down to...
Yeah, we just all the way left and all the way down real quick. So now what happens is when you drain someone, you'll gain Wrath. When you kill someone, you also gain Wrath. And then when we use Consume, we gain Wrath. So the particular goal of this one is in order to use the fact that we get 50% less amount of effort to get us our ability, to get Elven Wrath, the actual ability, which just shows all the Celebrimbors jumping out.
Yeah, the cool part is when we do that, pay attention to how much Wrath you gain. It's actually really significant if you build your character the right way and equip the right gear.
Right. So let's go ahead and show
Ellie. Don't worry, we're cheering for Ellie too. We're always trying to embody our best Ellie whenever we're playing the game, believe me. It's not easy. Alright. Let's get started again.
So last time I counted 3 or 4 Elven Wraths. So we'll see how many we do. This one, you feel a little bit warmed up.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We got a question from Redshirt117. So this is an important thing, and I wish we were putting this out to YouTube too, but technical difficulties. So when you guys see these long conversations from a lot of orcs, those are a lot of our presentations. So when an orc is like the Agonizer, that's not a story orc. It's just an orc you can get in the Nemesis system. And kind of in the same way, like when you saw the character, I'm forgetting his name, but he's in the gameplay trailer, who's like, I fought for you and died for you, bled for you, that guy. That's something that you would see in a presentation, which is an example of, see that jump in the Wrath right there? It's on the far right of us. That was like a fourth of your Wrath.
I unfortunately wasn't able to chain any. That would have made a really big difference, actually.
Remember to still use your arrows. That's the trick.
That's
right. Even if you don't have focus, you use your arrows. So
we're almost to our first Elven Wrath, actually.
Yeah?
Shoot.
You need to do it, yeah.
Your brains will do nicely. There we are.
There you go, good sir. So after you do this, I want to give it a shot too.
Yeah.
It's just for fun, because you had 54, and I want to see if we can beat that.
I hope I can do better with this one, because I remember being way more successful with this build than I was.
The Elf Shot one?
Yeah.
I mean, you're 9 below right now. You're just not using a Shadow Strike.
Yeah, the thing is really taking a strong advantage of this, like the time slowing down when you're Shadow Striking like crazy, but also finding groups of guys is tough when there's also Drakes trying to murder them just as avidly as you are.
Oh yeah, exactly. And for questions, if we will put this onto YouTube, because normally we go straight to YouTube, but today it just was with the weirdness. We just were like, you know what, we're not going to try to fix it right back up. We're going to focus on basically the main meat of this, because the content will exist. We have a couple people asking for Drake domination, so when there is one broken one.
Oh, there is? Yeah, okay. I'll go ahead and grab him.
Is this your second? Second? Yeah, okay. And now you have full focus, and you have full Elf Shot again. And then just go ahead and jump off of it, because we want to show just give people a moment to see it, but we want to show the build right now.
I'll take some free kills on behalf of that Drake. I can live with that.
So, for guys who are saying questions right now, I'm going to focus on stuff related directly to either build design, armor sets, As opposed to, I've seen some questions about DLC and stuff like that, which we're focusing on this right now. Imagine what the orcs are seeing. I want to take a note right now. So, like I said, we're still balancing. But whenever Andy goes off on his shadow striking all over the place, which you have no more arrows right now.
Ah, good point.
It's you're building up wrath when you do that one. Is the timer stays at one moment. See, it's at 52. Oh, you'll need more focus to do it, but don't worry about it. You keep jumping around. See, it stays. So it's slow time when that's happening. Can you get this armor but still have Talion's head? Yes. So the thing is that this armor right now this is a Shadow of the Past mission, which is just showing Celebrimbor as he was back when. So that's what's going on. This is actually, we're just living in his past history to show you guys the fully leveled up gear at the moment.
Could have shadow struck over there.
So from Eric Games Daily, it's actually time just slows. So if he gets lots of shadow strikes, it'll stay 43 seconds. He's still been on 43 and he's done 3 people. Zentenio, they're going to be characters from the Lord of the Rings series that we might recognize. Do you recognize anybody from our Shadow of War thing that we ever have up behind us whenever we go? Maybe. Let's see, when you get the Celebrimbor Legendary set, do you level it up higher or do you get higher levels as you play? So it's actually 2 parts. You can level up as you play, or depending on the...
Whoa!
Jump to another one. You're at 77 now. So you can pick it up at different levels of actually while you're playing. So like at different times, whether you're like level 44, level 55, or whatever it becomes. It really depends on when you choose to grab it. Then it will be at a certain level for your level. And then if you pass that level, you can then level it up at certain points. And that way it'll always keep up with you. Strelok 217. So that's a bit of a loaded question. The Shadow of the Past mission takes place thousands of years ago. But the actual game, so this mission is in the past, but the actual when Talion's around, it's taking place between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, shoot. Come on, break 100. Actually, the Drakes are doing a lot of the work, too.
Are they?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Oh, that's right. That was the whole reason I ran over here.
Remember to hit refresh.
Yep.
So before we do, or restart, but before we do anything.
Yep.
So I wasn't counting the Elven Rats as much, but I want to show it off as when I play too. So see above us, these different sets here. When you play Shadow of the Past missions, you're able to unlock various upgrades.
Yeah.
If you get the Mirian, the skill point, or if you get gold, you actually get a sweet gem. Now, if we were to beat every single one of these, you will unlock another piece of Celebrimbor's gear that you can't unlock with Ithilden. If you perfect all of them, you unlock a different piece of gear, also can't get with Ithilden. And if I may, I would
Absolutely.
love to try.
Here we go. Chat, I'll go ahead and chat with you a little bit.
So we're going to do a retry, and then after this, we're going to go ahead and do a little run and show you guys a bit of the Ithilden stuff. Which,
a little part you haven't seen before at the end, so we're really excited about that.
Right. And before we jump into this, though, I want to set this up and remind you guys a little bit about the build. So, and I'm bringing it back to me because it's just easier to look into your guys' eyes when I do this. So the idea here is that we want to focus on getting Elf Shot using our Drain ability. Multiple Celebrimbors come out consuming to get us lots of Elf Shot back, and then we use Chain of Shadows to bounce around everywhere. So I'm going to set that real quick. Click, and I know you guys are just looking at my face. So here, I'll make it so you guys get to see the moment when it flips. Flip. You're welcome. So, sorry, I'm being a silly person.
Jared should have wore cat eye contacts today.
Oh my gosh.
Kalinio, you've got a good point, actually.
So
we all should.
We all should wear cat eye contacts. All right, so I'm getting up to 4 right now. My highest I've ever gotten to was 11.
Let's see.
So this is at
Spammy
5.
There was a good question from Spammy. Let's see. Is there any
There we
armor
go.
customization? Yeah, totally. So you're actually able to, with legendary gear sets especially, you can actually level them up, and that will not only level up the stats and everything equipped to them, but or assigned to them rather, but it'll also change their look and everything. So you can really actually kind of help build this gear. But in addition to that, up and to that point, actually, before I move on, as Jared is so astutely showing, it'll also really augment your abilities pretty heavily as well. So you've got a cool game to play in between the gear you equip and the skills you equip, certainly. But also, I think someone earlier was saying gem. You can actually get gems for your gear, which will actually kind of augment them a little bit as well. So we've pretty drastically expanded on all the gear in RPG systems. Need I have Sauron contacts? True. That's actually just a good idea.
That's actually just a great idea.
Jaded Darkness, I think you're onto something there. That could be your $1 million idea.
Million and two. Can legendary armor come in different colors? It actually depends on the legendary armor, specifically. So in that regard, that would be specifically from a tribe. There is nobody left to kill except for this last guy.
See, it's not so easy, huh?
We've done this multiple times. We're just too good now. And pop.
There's more to kill than 20.
There are plenty more to kill, but now there's literally no one left, and then that guy shows up.
Worden, will there be any gear based on Talion from the first game? Actually, as it turns out, kind of the gear you start with is the gear that Talion had in the first game. So there's little lore entries on them that actually kind of tell, for those of you that have played Shadow of Mordor, you'll know the past of Yorith and Dirheil being sacrificed up on Narcost. That's a lot of syllables, as it turns out. That was harder than I thought it would be. But yeah, you'll still be able to kind of look back at Talion's past in Shadow of Mordor as well. Elvis Bandaman, this game is so cool. Well, you're in the right spot, man. That's why we're here. I want to show you guys as much as we can.
And
my boy TV, I will see you, Andy, at Gamescom. We have a deal. You were right about that. I'll see you at Gamescom. Jared will be there too, so make sure to drop by and see him. Mark, too. You see Mark in the chat, and Basti. We're actually going to have a really good crew out at Gamescom, so I think you guys will be excited to hang out with us.
Be a good one indeed. Quick comment, which was people had which was, can Celebrimbor's armor come in different colors? That's an exception. Celebrimbor's armor is in Celebrimbor's colors.
Does anything carry over from the first game? Well, if you have the Nemesis Forge update, you can bring your top follower and top Nemesis from Shadow of Mordor with you into Shadow of War. So we've actually had a lot of really fun discussion. If anyone out here follows our forums at community.wbgames.com or our subreddit, which folks are still very heavily occupying our Shadow of Mordor, there's been a lot of really cool discussion about the Nemesis and follower people are bringing with them. Let's see here. Hayura? Sorry if I mispronounced that, but we're glad you're here, man. Are there new scars for Urks that cheat death? Honestly, like, in every regard, the visuals have expanded significantly. So from the scars, from the flare, from the different tribal looks, from the different weapons they can use, we've expanded really significantly on that as well. The Demon 2579. This is a question actually we see a lot. Will there be a demo? We have no plans for that announced right now. If we change our mind, we'll certainly let you guys know, but just to be upfront with you guys, we have no plans announced right now for a demo. Let's see. Will there be an option to customize dominated fortresses? Totally. Yeah, like depending on the tribe of the overlord that you put in the fortress, it will significantly change the look of the fortress itself, but also the outposts in the regions, the high deer towers as well will be impacted by that, the outposts, but then you also have the option of putting in your own war chiefs to help defend it. So remember, you need to have a base of operations and you need it to be as strong as possible. I don't have any Nemesi that live past their second encounter with me unless I let them. You just gotta find the right one. There will be someone. There's always that one. Even for me. Ogbur the Dreamer. I remember his name well.
Book, book.
Book, book. Yes, that's right.
Alright, so you're going to have to call on me because I'm about the 9-second point.
Okay.
But I believe I'm getting close to 80 right now.
Yeah, and also too, like 10 seconds is a long time, especially with this build. You can really, really stretch that out and make the most of it.
Oh yeah. I also love the traveling across the entire world.
It feels so cool. Yeah, it's fun every time, especially because at least for me, Shadow Strike are some of my favorite animations in the game. Like they're just wicked. That one in particular, where it's like he cuts halfway through the front but then finishes from the back. It's just like that is the act of a vengeful ghost.
And final act of the vengeful ghost at 1 second.
Yes.
See if I can get to 90.
I think you can get to 90.
It looks like I'm a little low.
Oh no! Well, 88's still.
All right, 88.
Good. So again, remembering that just with a default loadout at Comic-Con, 45 is still really tough to get in that 2 minutes. And so just being able to kind of augment your abilities and everything to get up to 88 is still not easy, but a lot of fun.
Oh, dude. I'm doing the retry thing, not necessarily because we're going to retry it, but because I wanted to go to it and then cancel out of it, just in case if something ends up happening where we have enough time at the end and we want to do one more run.
Yeah, sure.
So it can exist. I'm going to now quit out. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Is there a playable demo at Gamescom? You bet. We're going to have Shadow of War playable at Gamescom. Please come, show up. We would love to let you guys go hands-on with it.
Also, did I forget to mention, this was the E3 build that we're playing right now. So people at E3 were able to play this.
Let's see here. Andy, we going to see more of the world map before release? Maybe. Like we obviously, those of us that work on community are always kind of playing that fine dance of making sure that we can show you guys as much as we possibly can. And if we have the option to show you guys a new region, we're going to certainly take that option. So
totally. I wanted to take this opportunity now to kind of remind you guys a little bit about, remember how we were talking about the ring and stuff? If you look at the set bonuses, which are directly from our heads if we look this way.
That's right.
Is always lift up your hand first. It makes it easy to know what side you're looking.
That and this is my arm getting cut off. So.
Oh yeah. So you guys can see that the set bonus is you gain 50% wrath faster, but Elven Rage lasts half as long, which is why we're able to get Elven Rage so often.
Yeah.
And then you can replenish all Elf Shot when killing an enemy during Elven Rage, which was the idea that really was able to basically create this build, which is what we wanted to show you guys, how when people were playing last week, people weren't using Shadow Strike in the style that we were. So we were like, all right, if we do Chain of Shadows, and then we do Chain of Souls, and then we also do this, then we're able to create this sweet build that allows us to cycle leaves. And that's why we were able to do so many Shadow Strikes in a row. So, now that we've gotten to this point, we've talked a little bit about Nithilden, and we've talked a little bit about Celebrimbor in the past, and that's what you're playing is Celebrimbor in his past during that time. Now we want to show you guys a little bit of their barrows, because that was something that we've seen that has been requested, but that's also what the Nithilden door is.
Yeah.
So, Andy, would you like me to drive, or do you want to drive?
No, by all means, go ahead.
Okay.
You're well warmed up, I think, at this point too.
Well, I'm just going to stroll, take a little run, because this is actually an area of Nurnen that I was, newly acquainted to for this stream. I had strolled around and had never found the barrows.
Yeah,
and so
there's a lot of cool little details in every single region because it's like the world team has expanded it. Obviously, the regions are so much bigger, but filling that with things that make sense, especially like in Nurnen where we have these big, huge, rich forests and these fields out in front of the Overlord Fortress and everything, but then also these awesome little caves that have tons of little treasures in them. Also, someone asked, I forget your name, but someone asked what my favorite tribe weapon. For me, it's the Terror Chains because they look awesome. Jared, do you have any preferences?
That's a tough one for me. Trying to think. I really like the Marauder double crossbow.
Yeah, that is really cool.
It's also just very useful when someone pulls it out and just knocking people down.
It's nice, especially when you're in. This is a rough place to walk into.
Yeah, it looks. This might be a Warmonger tribe leader because there's a bunch of guys who are like standing up and practicing. It's a very Warmonger trait.
Could be actually. I'm not as good with the tribe logos, I'll admit.
I'll look for one on a tower somewhere.
Professional 123. Hello. Welcome. We're glad to have you, man. Do enemy regions declare war on each other and fight each other? I mean, it's not necessarily quite like your, having big red arrows pointed at other regions or anything like that. When you're in a region and you control the fortress, certainly there will be counterattacks. You will have to defend it against Sauron, but we'll get more into that later, without a doubt. But really, it's just all about trying to go into the region as a member of the Bright Lord's army or defending from the Dark Lord's army. Hey, it's me, Aslar Twitter. I'm going to be at Gamescom too, My question is, do Uruks from different regions have different accents and looks? I know that the beasts will really, really heavily actually, first of all, we're glad to see you, Gamescom. That's going to be great. We're thrilled to be there too ourselves, so having so many of our community members there is going to be awesome. I would be remiss if I didn't start with that, actually. But the beasts will change really significantly based on, from Saragost to Gorgoroth. Across that entire gamut of regions we have now, there's going to be significant changes. I don't think that the orcs themselves have regional changes so much as they have, at least in their personality, I think it's more dictated by the tribe and by their class. They'll certainly comment on the things around them. They'll definitely talk about the regions, and obviously some are colder, some are more rich with beasts, and they'll definitely talk about that.
Are we here? We're here. So, moving back a little bit, so thank you for your questions, by the way, and your comments. We want to show you guys what Celebrimbor's barrows look like, and to enter that, you actually have to enter the Wraith world to do so. I just walked into a wall, and the doors open up for you only when you're in the Wraith world, which is pretty fun. So when you're walking, this is where you'd take those Ithilden words that we showed you guys about, and then you'd use them to solve a puzzle on the Ithilden door. So this right here is our Ithilden door, and you can also see it in this world too. Just if you guys want to get another look at what the rest of the world kind of looks like.
Just like this tomb for the most celebrated Elvish warriors of Middle-earth and everything.
Right.
Like,
I'll walk back again just because it's like the statues are pretty cool.
Thank you. I was going to say, like, I think the statues are probably one of the coolest parts, because especially when you spend more time with them and like you just see them crumbling from like very natural causes and everything. Like, it's clear that no one's been in here for thousands and thousands of years.
Oh, that's fun. Also, I love the intricate like work on the roof right there.
Yeah,
I think that's really cool.
That is.
Can't see that as well in the Wraith world, but
the Wraith world's for seeing other ghosts.
Seeing other ghosts, exactly.
So how old is Jared?
I am 7 million years old.
I was going to say the man is ageless.
Thank you.
Yeah.
27.
Also that.
So I'm walking up to this, and I want to show you guys a little bit more because we're going to interact with this today. But before we do, this is really good lighting to show off our gear. So just to give you guys a good look at what the level 1 of the Celebrimbor gear looks like. And remember, this levels up. And so as it levels up, it will visually change too. And it actually is it's significant like changes. So it's they still retain what makes them special. I'm going to turn back because we got the firelight. But you will be certain things that will really add intricacy and almost like I like intricacy. A lot of intricacies.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's so much deep, rich history in this universe, and so having more and more opportunities to just interject it in every single possible place is the coolest thing. Like, having that opportunity is really great, and like our writers have absolutely knocked it out of the park at every turn.
Right.
Those guys are good.
Speaking of which, Ithilden. So you get it. You collect words, and you see that there are 6 words to collect. So within all of Nurnen, there are 6 Ithilden words that you collect, and then there are pieces of the puzzle, like we mentioned before. You'll take each word and then you put them into here to form the poem, and then it will open up, and within this tomb, you will find a piece of Celebrimbor's gear. Specifically, though, not the stuff you get from the Shadow of the Past, which I'll leave that one as a little secret. But as you collect those Shadow of the Past missions, eventually you can unlock 2 specific pieces. But as you collect Ithilden, you unlock other pieces. Right now, we just made a little bit of a Mad Lib. Letter 4s, fortify with claim, Scabrous claim, it will claim.
I think this is close, but I feel like we're missing a little bit. English class simulator.
Perfect, yeah. But so you solve this puzzle, and then you're able to unlock what's in there. And so with that, I think we should take a couple more questions. And that is what we have for sharing. Celebrimbor's gear, remember that is something that you collect through picking up Ithilden. You can get it from these doors. Shadow of the Past missions are what you pick up and fight in, which is what we were doing a bunch of with the Drakes and their challenge missions that give you extra bonuses and that kind of thing.